Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak in the Bag show for Thursday afternoon, April 19th. Jimmy the Bag has already started off the day with two winners. Unreal. Wind blowing in Chicago. Didn't matter for Jim. Well, the game went over, but Jim took St. Louis team total over.
Took a while.
I guess the wind doesn't matter that much in Wrigley Field. It matters if it's like really hot and blowing out or blowing in really strong. But you remember that day that I took the under 6.5 that went to 24. I was seeing 24. I was seeing 25 mile an hour winds blowing in.
Yeah, no, I feel you. You might be right about Wrigley that maybe we shouldn't put too much emphasis on the wind. But I mean, yeah, the Tigers over was just simple.
What a call, Jim.
Just not overthinking it.
Yes, exactly.
Let's just simplify things. But it's exciting. It's exciting to start the day like this. And while we're talking about excitement, Embiid is in. And I need to lock the under in immediately because it's been going ever since he's announced. It's been going down. It's dropping. So I don't mean to rush this into
Sure. No, please. We can do that for you. You can also lock in immediately the futures odds for the San Jose Vegas series, which are now out. I don't know if you saw them, Jim.
I have seen them.
Oh, you have seen them because I was going to ask what you thought the odds would be on that one, but you know.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
we'll talk about that in the NHL segment. First, let's get you to all right, let me go side. Here we go. Totals here at SBRodds.com. I'm looking for the best total here for the under in the Philly-Miami game, 214.5 at the Greek.
Oh, there's still a 214.5.
The Greek. Line shopping.
Because Searcy, first off, Dave Stewart sent a tweet out how he should have got in on it early. He was upset. And then Searcy said, wow, Embiid's in, I'm going to take the under immediately.
Yeah.
And then I was like, is that because there's going to be more Whiteside? You think it'll slow down? And he said, no, it's Embiid. The defense raises. And also, he's not going to be, might be rusty. Might be trying to do too much. And I think I'm happy because as soon as it was 214.5 when we were talking, and then as soon as I got to my book, it was already gone down a half point.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll get to NBA in depth in a second, but I forgot who it was. I think it was someone in the comment section who said that when Embiid comes back, fade Philly because they're going to have chemistry issues. And you think that's accurate? I mean, I remember someone in the comment section saying that.
I've always thought, and I've always done this, I've always faded teams the first game back where they have a star.
But even if it's a playoff game like this,
that's
more if it's a playoff game like this.
That's the tricky part. It's a playoff game now.
Well, the line has gotten bet up as you would expect. Not up to 4.5, just up to 3. But still, that's a nice little line move there. The Portland-New Orleans line has dipped down to 3.5, like I predicted, Jim. Yeah. See that? And now I can tell you who that is. That's some people who think they're sharp, and they may be, but they definitely think they're sharp. Getting cute, although maybe justifiably so, and betting on Portland, despite the fact that on paper it looks like how is Portland going to possibly come within 4 here, but not surprised to see that line move, Jim.
Yeah, you called it, and you know the market. You called it perfectly.
Yeah.
Al Mac says, I'm extremely pumped for this show. I've been missing the morning shows lately. This is the best part of my day.
Oh, awesome.
Only way I can cope with crushing post-time anxiety.
Fucker. Yes, Al Mac. Thank you so much, Al Mac. And there you go. Joseph Tucker. Gonzalez was so easy as the Detroit Baltimore over. Gonzalez. What's he saying?
He's talking about Gonzalez, the pitcher of the Mariners.
Oh, right.
Easily a fade.
Right. Jim showed me Joseph Tucker's tweets that he tweets out every day. Even though Joseph Tucker tagged me, I haven't been seeing them, but I love them. I love it. Yeah, Joseph Tucker. Yeah. Shout out to Joseph Tucker. Absolutely. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Twate Latte says Pete looking awesome without the beard. Looking like he's 14. Thank you, Twate Latte. Yes, I do. I look younger than my age. I absolutely do. It's because of my youthful enthusiasm and my internal glow. All right, Jim. Let's see. What else do we have here? Let's see. What else? Oh,
Dan Kelly says, yesterday I was 4-1 in the picks I posted in this chat. Man. That is 9-2 in the past 2 days.
Very nice.
Now he's doing what all gamblers do. He's saying, so I'll probably lose all my picks in this chat today. I'm not going to think about that last line, Dan. Just going to thank you for being such a wonderful asset to Team Lowbag. Just giving us cash, just putting money in our wallet.
And look who's here. Tony Soprano, my favorite. Loshak in my bag. I live for this. I'd rather meet you than God. Laugh my ass off. Tony Soprano. I don't know if there's any NHL low-hanging fruit, though, that Tony Soprano can bet tonight. These games tonight, big line move in favor of Boston.
Huge line move. Yeah. And not only that, not only was there a line move, but Gate Pass Key says, Oh, no, shit. That's the wrong Gabe Paskey. Gabe Paskey says, Loshak, I may have been wrong with my direct opposition to your Bruins lean. The more I looked at it, the more I've decided that Bruins are going to limit Marner's room, clog up the zone, Boston money line.
That's exactly what I said, right?
Yeah.
And I think that they're going to. I mean, you made a great point about great coaches with the last line. They have a big advantage, especially in the playoffs. And so you're saying that
last change.
Yeah,
last change is so vital.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you're saying So you're saying that whatever adjustments Boston might want to make, that the system for Toronto is so good right now that they won't be able to.
They'll have to wait till Game 5.
Yeah.
Because Babcock has seen it all.
Yeah.
And will have last chance. It's just it's such a big deal. It's such a different thing in hockey than it is in other sports, allowing the home team to have this advantage. Also, I mean, it used to be that the home team got to put their stick in last for the faceoff. Now they've changed it into whoever is in the offensive zone gets to put their stick in last.
Yeah.
But yes, I wish I had have waited. I wish I had have waited. But in saying that, I might not have pulled the trigger. Seeing all this line movement, I'm happy that I'm in on the Buds. But almost I have not heard anybody say, "Oh, the Leafs are the play."
Well, a lot of people. Well, let's talk about it because even though we want to get to MLB, a lot of comments are already coming in, so we may as well read those. Al Mack, Leafs is low-hanging fruit. All these people handicapping the game are forgetting. I'm going to be screaming at Bax and Nash all night. I will get in their heads every time they touch the ice. And here we go. Tony Soprano, wish me luck, guys. Tonight I got $5,000 on Toronto money line. In hockey. Jim has that Jets. Jim's pick too. And depending on when Tony bet that, he might have gotten a better line than Jim because that line has just been creeping up all day long.
I'm sure he got a better line. Twatty Latte says, I have a glamour photo of Pete with no mustache on my dresser.
Twatty Latte. I love you, man. Twatty Latte. Thank you so much, Twatty Latte. I'm drinking my coffee, drinking my lean, drinking my prune juice here. And we're handicapping MLB. We're handicapping NHL. We're handicapping NBA. Let me see just what other comments came in. Handicapping comments, and then we'll jump right into MLB. So Jimmy the Bag did take Toronto. The money line has moved in Boston's favor. Tony Soprano, big play on Toronto here. And Al Mack also on Toronto. Al Mack also on Heat +3. Wow.
Yes, and there's more than him coming in on Heat.
Wow.
Chef Big Hat saying Heat and Spurs money line. And then who I think was it just Greg Schneider?
JD3's on the Leafs. JD the Third's on the Leafs. Keith Saltalamacchia, Bruins let down. Wow.
Yeah. Ralph Jefferson says, Pete and Jim, I have to watch your show every day like the news.
Thank you so much, Ralph Jefferson. Thank you so much. Ralph Jefferson, Antoine Seymour doing great with NBA player props, coming in with LaMarcus Aldridge solo over 25 points.
Oh, God. Wow. Man, Antoine, I don't know. I can't remember if he was here on the early show, but
we gave him a big shout out for the player props on LeBron yesterday.
God, and afterwards, I think of you saying that to me and me taking the first quarter over and first half over, and I think, what an idiot I was. Antoine Seymour is simplifying things and putting it on a platter, and yet I'm... God.
I mean, if you just want to focus on player props, Jim, for the rest of the NBA playoffs, that is definitely probably going to have much bigger obvious value than any of the sides and totals. Once in a while, a side or a total will have more value than the player props, but overall, especially in the playoffs, player props can have much greater value than the side or total. That's also true in NFL. Incredible, great work, Antoine. We love you here. Also, Dan Kelly dropped his picks. So New Orleans Pelicans team total over.
I
was thinking about that one.
New Orleans first half team total over.
Yes.
New Orleans Portland over 54.
First quarter he's probably talking about.
Yeah, he must be. And then over 54 fourth quarter.
Oh, okay.
And then it's my fault. Sorry, New Orleans Portland over 54 fourth quarter. And then New Orleans Portland over 214 full game, and fourth quarter Golden State.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure, New Orleans at home, they were a huge overtrender at home in the regular season. Obviously, things can change radically in the playoffs, but you got to think, I mean, they do well when they're pushing the pace, right? And you got to think they're going to control the pace here. And Portland's, I don't know what their plan is, but their plan is probably just to do whatever the Pelicans do and try one way or another to sneak out a win. Just pray.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I think should I just hammer it immediately?
I don't know. I don't know, but I do want to get to these. William Speaker says Loshak in the bag, take D Wade over 13.5 points. What do you think about that?
I just think that when you see an old star that we've all loved dominate a game, it's very easy to go back at it immediately, and I don't know if that's the right move.
Mr. ESPN, new commenter, he says, I'm new to your show, but I can say I'm now a member. Mr. ESPN, y'all are great. Thank you so much, Mr. ESPN. Thank you so much. I love positive comments like
Look
that.
at Brian Manning right underneath, eh? Love this show. Best show on the entire planet.
Yes.
Gosh, I love you guys. Hashtag cash flow.
Yes, Brian Manning. Thank you so much, Brian Manning. I'm going to save these comments in 1 second. Thank you so much. Gosh, I love you guys.
Joseph Tucker, my internet's been acting shitty thus far. Now I'm finally here. I hope you did hear our big shout out to you, Joseph Tucker, because we love you, man.
Mally Mal looked to a 3-team parlay. Brewers game over 9 and the Capitals plus 1.5. All right, let's get to this. Let me see. Gate Pass Key says, all right, so many comments coming in. I do want to get because there were some early handicapping comments that I definitely want to get to. Let me just see what's going on here. Big Dick Donnie says Columbus baby, the return of Big Dick Donnie, like in Columbus.
Not only that, the Big Dick Donnie on him, but Brooksy, Brent Brooks, who's just been dominating the NHL playoffs. Just excelling, and definitely follow him on Twitter. He's just destroying. He is on Columbus on the puck line.
Who is?
Brent Brooks.
Wow, really?
At plus 235.
Jesus. I mean, we'll talk about that in the NHL segment. Jay Peach says Vegas sweeps again. We'll talk about that. I don't know about that. Mally Mal says doubt Vegas sweeps the Sharks. Let's see. Just
David Hutton. State of the world is depressing, but this show is a ray of sunshine.
I hear you. Oh, the state of the world is depressing. Thank you so much, David Hutton. Yes, the world is fucking depressing as hell. Just mind-bogglingly depressing. Thank you so much, so we can be a little bit of a ray of sunshine.
Big Hat says, Loshak, I've been watching you since you were a respectable citizen. It kills me to have to miss your live show.
Oh, God, thank you so much. I realize I'm freaking out a little bit more than normal about these guys. Been a rough week for me. But, I love these fucking comments. I live for them, and thank you so much. And I love to that's like me in heaven. Scanning for handicapping comments while Jimmy reads out positive comments from a different section. It cannot get better than that. With a cup of Courvoisier lean and fruit juice sitting right next to me, hot cup of, and oh man, yeah, absolutely. And Larry manning the controls, all reliable Larry.
Nice to have Larry.
It just doesn't get better. With Tony Soprano with the $5,000 play on a hockey game, it doesn't get better than this, Jimmy.
Max Priest wants you to read out. He wants a shout out.
Okay.
Can you? He's about 15 or 20. The comments are coming in fast. He's about 20 in from the bottom. Can you see it?
Oh, let me see. Max Priest. Let's find that. Max Priest. Pelicans -1 first quarter.
No.
Max Priest.
Max Priest. Been watching the show. That
I can't find it. So many comments. Let's see. Max Priest. Pirates under game 7.5. Bad weather.
I'll do it for you.
Okay.
Max Priest says, been watching the show for years, finally decided to chat. And he says, give me a shout out, Loshak.
Oh, huge shout out, Max Priest. Motherfucking Max Priest. I wonder, thank you. I wonder where Max Priest is from. That sounds like, you think he's from the States? That's a candidate there for being from maybe I don't know, like Germany or Australia or something. That doesn't sound like an American screen name, does it?
We'll have to.
We'll find out. We'll find out. Huge shout out to Max Priest. Huge shout out to Max Priest.
Ragsdale says top 3 books with the best lines the majority of the time. What are they?
Top 3 books. Well, that's a complicated question, but we will answer it. It depends on your bet size. Obviously, if you're a professional player or a recreational player, top 3 books with best lines. 5 Dimes has intentionally low juice, which you should absolutely play at. Now, the problem with 5 Dimes is that unlike Pinnacle, you can't play there forever. If you win a certain amount, they will show you the door, as is their right to do. As people, regular viewers of our show know, the Greek often has intentionally off-market lines, Jim. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
A lot of times you'll be getting an extra half point here and there, an extra, like for instance, for the Miami under 214.5. That comes courtesy of the Greek, right? Yeah. Everywhere else has 214. So the Greek has full juice, but they are a pro book. They take winners, and you can bet there for as long as you want, and they often have off-market numbers. So a lot of times you will find, and if you watch the show, you'll see the Greek does have the best number, and then, of course, Pinnacle. You know
Yeah, and Normel says Pinnacle best book. Al Max says Bet365 has the best hockey picks and the best reverse run lines as we've seen.
But as you've seen, line shopping is important. If Pinnacle has the best odds, when you're talking about alternative puck lines, definitely not. Go to other places, right? Bet365 routinely beating Pinnacle on their reverse run lines, on their alternative run lines.
Guaranteed ROI says Sports Interaction. Al Max says Intertops has competitive lines.
Yes, and the real answer is just that various books have various things that they tend to do more than others, and line shopping is essential. Some books,
It's funny because for the last while I've been lamenting the fact that I have to use Bet365 and hating it. And this is the first time I found maybe over the last 4 or 5 weeks where there's been better lines there where I am actually succeeding, because I used to hate it.
Yeah, I mean, look, for alternative run lines in baseball, obviously they have great alternative run lines, and there are some times where their totals are going to be what you want as well, as opposed to other books. All right, oh my God, I can't. But my computer was working fine tonight, this morning. Now it's freezing up. I don't even have that many fucking. Oh God! All
Al
right.
Max says I don't buy anything without thinking of would Pete approve of its value.
All right, thank you so much, Al Mac. All right, I'm not going to be able to read any of the are there any handicapping comments you want to highlight before we get to MLB, Jim?
I say we roll right into MLB and they'll start coming in. Sandercock likes the Blue Jays. There's a question whether the Blue Jays run will end, and I say we get right into baseball. Okay,
let's get right into MLB. Of course, the Yankees game is going at 6:30. I did take Yankees on the second half -110. Obviously, I like their bullpen. Obviously, I like their lineup just in case CC gets hit. And I don't know. I'm thinking maybe about doubling up and taking the Yankees -1 as well. As you know, Jim, I was high on Sanchez in the beginning of the year, but he had some control issues. Yankees are a dominant team. They can jump out to a big lead early. They could jump out to a big lead late. They could jump out to a big lead in the 5th or 6th inning. Anything could happen. Why would you took Toronto on the team total over, though?
I did. The key there was, as we know, Sabathia is dealing with a hip injury, one. How he will handle the break, about 12 days off, I believe, how he will handle that. Usually veterans handle that well. If you look at Sabathia's record against the Jays, I have to pull it up here, but it's very good in his career, but it's very bad in the last 2 years. I believe it's 2-7 with a high ERA. Let me get to those numbers. But those were the main reasons. I think Sanchez will pitch well. We know the wind's blowing out, and it's a very dangerous thing to fade the Yankees at home, as we've talked about. 15 miles per hour, and it's going to blow heavier and heavier later in the game. It's going to be 20 miles an hour in the late stages of the game. And you took Yankees second half?
I took Yankees second half -110, but you're not fading the Yankees. You took the team total over.
Yes. I tried to figure out what's the best move I can make with the fear. I want to fade Sabathia, but not fade the Yankees. And so I figured the team total. I was very excited to find a 3.5. I thought I'd be dealing with a 4. I believe it's -135 I have to deal with, which is I don't love that. But Normel says Jays all the way. Line is way off. CC Fitness says Yanks, Toronto, first 5 over. I have some fear with that because Sanchez looked great last start after I was feeling like he was having issues. Al Mac, I'm on Blue Jays +140. Mally Mall, like Toronto team total over.
Who said that the Toronto line is way off? Said he likes Toronto.
Norm L.
Likes Toronto.
Yes,
that
says
much.
Jays all the way. That line is way off. And I guess he's, been watching saw Sanchez have a no-hitter into the 8th inning. Sanchez also said all the right things afterwards. Couldn't care less about a no-hitter. Just cares about the team winning. And then Sabathia, I mean, he had a big comeback year last year off the drink. And he's a 300-pound big boy and a hip injury with all that weight.
So if you want to fade Sabathia, what about the first 5 innings team total over, which would just be 2, Jim? What about that?
Yes, that looking back at it now, after having that would have probably been the better play. Now, I'm not going to double up, but I agree. We know how good the Yankees bullpen is, and I probably should have done that.
All right, I'm fucking switching over. I'm fucking switching over tonight. Look at this shit. It was fine in the morning. Look at this shit, Chip. Am I lying, Jim? I ain't lying, Jim. Look at this shit. It was fine in the morning show. I just fell asleep. I put all my time into handicapping. You know what I'm saying? Tonight I have to do UFC on Fox 128, which I'm very excited about, and I'm going to get to that one tonight. But I'm definitely going to switch over. This is fucking bullshit. Shit is fucking totally. Everything's fucking freezing up again once again. I cannot believe this shit. All right, Jim. I'm thinking about taking the Yankees -1. What do you think about that?
I'd be a tiny bit concerned, but it's. the Yankees at home should be a great play all season. But I just feel now someone just said that they think Sabathia will pitch better. Yeah, Zach says Yankees tonight. Sabathia will pitch better. He won't give up home runs like the last start. Nick Dial says Sabathia is an old man. He's got to prove me otherwise until I back him on the hill.
All right, I'll stay off it. I'll just take the Yankees on the second half -110, and that's fine. I'm fine with that, too.
And Magzia says, Jimmy the Bag, agree on over in the Yankees game? I don't know if I don't know. I think Sanchez could pitch well, but we know that the wind's blowing like crazy. Keith Saltamacchia says Sabathia won't be sharp. CC Fitness says, I don't trust Sabathia. And then here, guaranteed ROI, Yankees on the super run line, -2.5.
Wow. So some people thinking huge value with Toronto as a big dog. Other people thinking the Yankees -2.5. Big value there. The Yankees absolutely run away with it. I kind of like both of those ideas. There's a lot of volatility with the Yankees. When the Yankees beat Marlins, what was it, 12-1? When they lost against the Marlins, 9-1. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I was going to take Toronto, maybe I'd even think about taking them on the alternative run line. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's a close game, you don't want the Yankees bullpen involved. It's if Toronto wins, it's probably because they just put up 8 runs in the first 5 innings, right, Jim?
I made a mistake. The more we talk about this game, I should have just taken the first 5. And Jake Bell likes the under in Blue Jays Yankees. I don't know why. God, you just spelt it out. I mean, we want to fade Sabathia, not the Yankees bullpen.
Right. No, it's okay. It's okay. That's why I took the Yankees on the second half. But we'll get into it. All right, now everything's working again here. Let's talk about Pittsburgh and Philly. I was thinking about Pittsburgh first 5 innings. Thinking about the first 5 innings under on this one. Obviously, Tyone is a guy that I think a character guy with nice stuff that I kind of believe in. Leaning under, leaning first 5 innings under, leaning Pittsburgh first 5 innings. Thinking about maybe Philly team total under or Philly first 5 innings team total under. Although that is 1.5. I have no official picks on this one as yet. What do you think, Jimmy the Bag?
Tyone's been incredible.
Yeah.
Pirates are scoring 5.5 runs per game. Tyone's look dominant. By the way, Twatty, was so great with totals, is on the Yanks full game over. And Rem Mo saying for me to double up on that play, but I just can't. And I'm just, Jesus, I just wish I had taken that first 5. Arrieta is a very passionate ball player, and sometimes it takes away from his game, and sometimes it helps. And seeing him have a really good start finally on his new team, I think he's going to be pumped. Kapler was talking all about it, how excellent he looked, and just really bigging him up. And this has been a game I've been uncomfortable with all day, and I still am.
Yeah, looking at some of these comments here, Jake Bell likes the over 3.5 team total. Zach Zoblam says Yanks got smacked by the Marlins. They will bounce back tonight. And Rem Most asks, saying, "Why don't you double up, Jimmy? What about that?" Let me just see what the first 5 innings team total here would be for the Yankees. I'm sure it would be 2. It might even be. Let me see. Oh, I mean for the Blue Jays.
Yeah,
Let me find it. First 5 innings. Can't find it. All right. I'm gonna have to. Where the hell is it? 2 -104.
Ooh, shit, that sounds so good.
2 -104. Unbelievable.
Oh shit. I'm not gonna double up on the game, but I made a mistake.
Yeah.
That was the better bet, much better bet. I'm laying -135. I just I hate the way. I hate the way handicapping sometimes makes you feel like an idiot.
Yeah, no. I mean, look. I mean, it's just like the Yankees have a great bullpen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if it goes over, it's probably because they put up 4 by the But anything can happen, Jim. Anything can happen. Those stud relievers can implode at any given time. Here we go. Torino says, "I think Arrieta's overvalued. His velocity is down significantly since his great year with the Cubs 2 years ago, and Pittsburgh's lineup than what Arrieta has seen." I think he says Pittsburgh's lineup is better than what Arrieta has seen. Torino says Arrieta very mediocre against 2 bad lineups in Miami and Tampa. Pittsburgh has seen him a lot. I think they hit him.
Well, Twatty lives in Pittsburgh and knows this team inside and out. It says Tyon going to get hit.
Really?
And Pirates have owned Jake the last 2 years, so obviously he's looking at an over there.
Wow. Okay, I was thinking about under. I was thinking about Pittsburgh first 5 innings. I was thinking about the full game under, first 5 innings under as well. Let's move on to the Mets-Atlanta game. I did give the Mets on the second half -125, and Jim gave Mets team total over 4.5 -110. And is it? I'm seeing Whistler. Oh, now it is Whistler's in there.
It is Whistler. Yes.
Yes, it is Whistler in there. And actually, Jim, that means that if you want the Mets team total over, you'll have to take a new line. Because it would be
you're
canceled.
right.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that.
No,
I hate to
you're
be
right.
a fucking stickler here, a little bit of a an annoying little dick boy here. But you know what I'm saying?
No,
I mean,
you're right.
if you would bet it with Sims in there, the bet would be canceled.
No, it's the same with my local. That's a canceled bet. as well.
Yeah. So that bet is canceled. Pinnacle now has 5 plus 110, and second half bets though are not. Second half bets are action, which is interesting. 5 plus 110. You can check Bet365 if you want. I'll check Heritage for you right here. Might be able to find you a 4.5 at maybe 135 or something like that, Jim.
I was really fading Sims. I've always liked Whistler, and I just got caught up in some shit and trying to figure out to make a basketball move. I'm gonna look some stuff up and come back to this play. So I'm not gonna make a play on it yet. I am going to erase the over 4.5.
Yeah. So Jim's play is canceled on the team total over, but my second half on the Mets at minus 125 is not canceled. Those are action plays. Second half plays are action plays. So pitching changes let them stand, which is kind of interesting. And the new line for the Mets is about minus 109.
And what's the new total?
Total's about 9.
Any juice on either
Yeah,
side?
about minus 110, 115. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Thinking about that one, scratching my head. Miami, Milwaukee. I gave Milwaukee -1 in the morning show. Jim gave Milwaukee on -1.5 at plus 109. San Francisco, Arizona. I took that one as well. Arizona -1. Jim did not have a play on that one, right, Jim? No.
Yes, on
Arizona.
Yes. I have Greinke and the Diamondbacks -1.5 at plus 130.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check my notes here. And you also definitely had. All right, so Jim and I are both on Milwaukee and Arizona. I'm on the -1 on both those. Jim's on the run line on both those. And Jim also did take the Angels at -106, which is now down to about -104. So basically where it was, slight market movement in favor of Boston. How you feel about all those plays, Jim?
I feel good about them. I feel fine about them. Magsy asking, do you like the over in Brewers Miami? It's just hard to trust those Miami bats. Although we talked about, I don't believe Chase Anderson is as good as he was last year. But he's holding teams to a 192 batting average and has allowed 6 home runs, second worst in the league to Cole Hamels. So I'm just going to stick on the. Darcy Cretchen says, love the Brew Crew tonight, pound that. I'm just going to stick on that one spot.
Wow, so Twatty thinks the Pirates are going to get hit. Twatty thinks Tyone's going to get hit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting comment.
Yeah.
Twatty Latte, interesting analysis, interesting comment, interesting prediction. We'll see if this actually turns out to be true. We've seen, what did we see just today, right? A stud starting pitcher on the road get touched up. A lot of times these guys, I'm definitely like Weaver, Tyone, all those guys, I'm definitely looking more to, even Kluber, although Kluber's like elite. All those guys, I'm usually looking I'm more eager to bet them at home than I am on the road on like first 5 inning lines and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Lines are higher.
Just a quick, interesting from Antoine Seymour. I know we're sticking on baseball. He says heat all day. Don't let the process fool you, people. Wow. So Whistler, this is the reason why Whistler doesn't make the team out of camp. He got destroyed. Batters hit 345 off of him. He had an 8.10 ERA with a 1.73 WHIP. He gave up 2 homers, 12 earned runs in 13 innings, struck out 9, walked 3. That's not very good. That's not very good. I thought Whistler was going to be...
and yet they brought him up, though.
Well, I think he's better than Sims. I think I was shocked, and I should have put more time into studying Whistler. I think what I'm going to do is the problem is like I can't trust this Atlanta lineup without Freeman.
Right.
Freeman's part of the reason why they're
Is he out for sure? Is he out? Was it
he's out for sure.
I assumed he was, but yeah.
Let me just verify that one last time. I just can't trust this lineup without Freeman in it.
Yeah.
And they've been playing over their head, and it helps when you have one of the best hitters in the whole league sitting there. So let me just give me a second. I think I'm going to make a move on that game. Freddie Freeman in lineup.
Okay, but
Freddie Freeman in lineup Thursday.
Okay, so I guess we can assume that his wrist is fine, or maybe he's playing a little bit injured. Maybe, I don't know. I'm on the Mets second half.
I'm going to take the full game over.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I still don't trust Harvey, And I'm going to jump on the full game over.
Okay, here we go. Atlanta over 9 minus 120 is the best line we can give at the Greek. And you wager Atlanta over 9 minus 120. Atlanta over 9 minus 120. That's definitely how I was leaning. Definitely how I was leaning.
Yeah, I mean,
we're
Whistler
hemming and hawing at the same time over this one, Jim.
Whistler looks terrible. I don't trust Harvey. There's a reason why Whistler didn't make the team. I thought he was a highly touted prospect, and last year I even believed in him at times last year. I think it's a better choice to take him over Sims, but I'm comfortable taking the full game over.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, before this show is over, I might throw that one on there as well because that is definitely a lean. But for now, let's just review once again. Jim is on Toronto team total over. I'm on the Yankees second half. Pittsburgh Philly pass, but Tuate Latte has made the prediction that Jameson Taillon, big stud starting pitcher whom I like to back, is going to be vulnerable to getting touched up here by Philly. Interesting to see if that actually happens. Mets and Atlanta. Jim took the over, and I took Mets on the second half. Miami Milwaukee. I'm on Milwaukee -1. Jim's -1.5. Arizona, San Francisco. I'm on Arizona -1. Jim's on -1.5. And Boston Angels. Jim is on the Angels.
Yeah, I like the card. I feel good going 2 for 2. If I didn't make those 2 late bets on dogs, I could be looking at coming in tomorrow at double digits. I feel confident. And I didn't take any giant dogs today. I mean, I got the +130 line on the Diamondbacks run line, but I like where I stand.
All right, let's move on. Let's go to NBA, actually. Let's go to NBA because these games are much more interesting.
Can I just add one? No, sorry. I just want to add one thing.
Yeah, what?
And I copied and pasted this from the early show. And this was from Dom Ricci. And Dom tweeted at me about this. He just said, heads up, guys. And he says, I know others mentioned it last week, but that Nats-Mets score first inning hit again last night. And he's been watching it. The in Nationals games is now 14-5.
Wow.
In the 19 National games, a run has been scored in the first inning 14 out of 19 times. So, and I know that Native Queen's been destroying the first inning lines, and I've been watching everybody make money off him and not be making them myself. So,
well, tomorrow it'll be interesting to see what the odds are for that prop because it's Kershaw versus Scherzer. What do you think the odds for that are going to be? Probably +150, something like that.
Yes, +160, 165.
Who knows? 180. We shall see. Scherzer versus Kershaw.
Oh, that's exciting.
This is great. This is why I love the commenters of the show so much. They come in with all that information, gives us interesting shit to talk about. Then we're going and looking at tomorrow's card, and we'll already have something incredibly interesting to talk about in the opening of tomorrow's show, Jim. We'll
Absolutely.
see what that line winds up being.
Cody AV quickly says, Jimmy, what do you think about Jay's first 5 plus a half at -110? I like it. I think that's fine. Michael L. Ferris is on the total over. And, I think someone's saying that Greg made a great call. Oh, here, says Heat are 7-0 straight up against the 76ers at home in their past 7 games. And a lot of people are on the Heat. Major Keeler, it says, I'm on Heat. And I'm on fire.
So let's move on to the NBA. And a lot of people are liking the Heat. Major Key Alert, I'm on Heat and I'm on fire. And to Wayne Seymour, all in caps. All in caps. I live in Miami. Them boys ready for this shit tonight. The city is lit. The city is lit.
Yeah, I mean, getting Wade back for nothing was a great move by Riley. And
but Wade's not that good, is he?
It's just about getting the city lit. You know, it's just about the excitement. And Wade was absolutely phenomenal last game.
Yeah, I mean, my question is, are the refs lit? Are the refs lit in Miami's favor, right?
Yeah, I don't like that side of it.
I mean, it seems like, man for man, Philly has a far superior roster. No? I mean, I understand with Embiid and there's maybe chemistry issues.
You know what? It's a different type of roster because the only guy that's tough, they don't have a lot of tough. I mean, I know Embiid is tough, but this Heat team has toughness. James Johnson, he's a mixed martial arts fighter. They say he's the toughest guy in the league. They have toughness. Whiteside is tough. Outside. Ed was talking about, just in the office, was talking about how upset the Sixers were off that last second layup by Dragic and how they're going to come at them. There's going to be a lot of emotion in this series. And like Antoine Seymour says right there, it's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, it's going to be a dogfight, and you're not getting that big of a cushion. I mean, you're getting 3 points, which is nice. But, you know, so it might be like a 1-2 point win for Philly, but you're basically going to have to win the game for Miami.
Yes, you're going to have to win the game, absolutely. And just I know we're going to focus on basketball, but our friend Hako Schofield, whom we love, says, just won $1,000 on MLB today. I'm getting drunk tonight. Love you, Pete and Jimmy. Always best fucking show out there.
Hako Schofield, one of the first people to type best show ever in all caps, ever, a year ago. I remember that, Hako Schofield. One of the first people to type best show ever in all caps. One of the originators of that comment and that style. You know what I'm saying?
He's I love him. Al Max says James Johnson is the biggest douchebag in the league. He threatened my boss last time they were at the ACC, which is wild because I have the opposite story that I shared with everybody.
What's that?
My friend making that mix. Putting together a mix of James Johnson's highlights and gave it to James. James took it, and then James Johnson's mom friended him on Facebook and said, "Thank you for making the tape about my baby." And then, so I have it's interesting you say that, Almac, because I have the opposite story of what a kind guy James Johnson was.
A lot of great comments coming in. William Speaker says Wade does it when he has to and has proven it every time. On the other hand, let me see, a lot of go ahead.
Wow.
What?
Wow, Brian Watson, is this true?
What?
Is this true? Bergeron out. Is this true?
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I gotta find this out. That is huge if that's happening.
I call bullshit. Bergeron ain't out. Bergeron's playing.
I see nothing about Bergeron.
Now, Al Max says Bergeron is out. But that might be just because fake news then spreads like a virus.
No, he's at the ACC. He works there. Wow. Now who got the line in the Leafs? Wow.
I still don't believe it. Wow, he's out. How come the line hasn't responded then? Are you kidding me?
Well, it's not on Roto World yet. This must be just in information.
Let me see this. Let me see this shit. This is, we stop everything. This is even more important than if Gabriel Rodriguez, the king, came into chat. This is, no, not really. It's still minus 126 at Pinnacle. Plus 114 for Toronto.
Yeah, Tomor saying that line hasn't moved.
No, the line hasn't moved, Jim.
Bruins have tweeted he's out. No Bergeron. Bergeron is out. That line is going to start changing immediately.
You think so?
Immediately. And all of a sudden, the bag's filled with confidence. All of a sudden.
So you think that makes a bit... Well, what do you don't think the Boston's going to now rise to the occasion and... no?
Well, I'm not saying they're not going to rise to the occasion, but Krejci is not... I feel like he's on the downslope of his career. He's not been playing great. Riley Nash is going to have to do a lot more. He's supposed to return to the lineup, or he returned the lineup, on Monday. They'll probably move Backus back to center.
And that's also got to make the under an even better bet, right, Jim? No? Not necessarily?
Not necessarily, because Bergeron's the best defensive center in the league. So, not necessarily. But anybody who's back in the buds...
Well, we'll see. The line hasn't moved yet. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. Of course, SBR odds here is color-coded. Whenever you see a red square pop up, that's a line that has just changed. The yellow squares are lines that have changed a little bit more.
Mohammed Joma says Boston still wins. And then PRC publicist and coach says, yo, guys, give a shout-out to Haiti. We got Haiti in the house with us.
Haiti?
Right? Yeah.
Wow, Haiti. Shout out. Wait, what's his name? His name
is PRC Publicist and Co.
PRC Publicist and Co. Shout out to Haiti. Huge shout out to Haiti. Thanks so much for joining us. Thanks so much. We really appreciate it. I'm sorry. I'm still just a little bit in shock by Bergeron. It did just take a jump down. It's down to plus 111 at Pinnacle. So a small jump down. But, I mean, I would expect this to go down to like at least 105, right?
I agree. I think it will.
Wow.
Bovada has locked it. Penny's already dropped. Tomer says, I think Boston goes all in with Bergeron out. I still like them. And Mr. Gokster, I'm hitting Leafs. That's huge. And Mr. Gokster was on the Bruins earlier today. Remember? And I said, this is a guy from Belleville who sees the Leafs every day. Oh, I'm in good shape.
Shout out to Haiti. Sorry, it's just the shout out request came right in the middle of this freaky news. I don't even know how to process this. I'm thinking about jumping on the under, and other people are saying it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They still like Boston here.
Yeah, I mean, if I had $200 on Boston, I might have to pretend to say the same thing. But I don't. I had $200 on the Leafs, baby.
Wow. Mohammed Joma, motherfucker knows his hockey, says Boston still wins.
I feel good. I feel good. Bergeron is a phenomenal talent. Phenomenal hockey player.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. All right. Okay. So much fun when breaking news happens in the middle of the show. Shout out to Haiti. Sorry about that. And let's get back to NBA once again. And that line's moving as well. It's now down to a 2.5 at most places.
Wow.
Money coming in on Miami. A lot of people, including Antoine Seymour, who lives in Miami, is loving Miami here tonight. He also said it's going to be a dogfight, which makes me think under. Jim has already taken the under.
Oh, wow. What an interesting comment by Gate Paskey. God, how lucky we are with this chat. Bergeron missing creates a lot of line miscues. I bet you the Bruins take a too many men penalty tonight. Wow, of course they will. And you move back, it's going to cause confusion. I love it. Man.
Wow. So you're liking your Toronto play even more now.
I am.
And here you go. Slay the spread. Bergeron was out a few months back and Boston rolled.
Yeah, they did, but they weren't playing the Leafs in Game 4 in Toronto.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Let me see other comments coming in. I'm just looking around, scanning around.
Ulysses Hayes says, sorry, Bags. Toronto fade them. You should have gave me that money, Bags.
Yeah, you should have. Oh, wow. Look at this. Troy V. Love this show. First-time listener from South Dakota. Great stuff, fellas. Thank you so much, Troy V. We got South Dakota in the house. We got Haiti in the house. We got mad people from Canada in the house. We got motherfuckers from all over the world. We got Twate Latte from Pittsburgh, right?
Yes.
From Pittsburgh. We got Pittsburgh in the house.
We got Antoine.
And we got Antoine Seymour from Miami, in Miami, who knows that the city is lit because he lives there. It's just it's a 3-point cushion. I'm thinking the under it might be the best way to go. It's just people were talking about how Dwayne Wade is not going to play as well as he did in Game 2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what do you guys say? I mean, Dwayne Wade was unbelievably that steal was the most important play of the whole game.
Yeah.
He comes off the bench and dominates. Dwayne Wade's a special player who gets up for big games, but I don't like making the same bet twice.
Yeah. All right, so a lot of back and forth with Philly and Miami. Definitely about 40% people on Philly. Jim's taking the under at 214.5, which I would agree with, and I'm going to hold off on that one for now, although I might throw on some late underplays on that one. Now let's move on to Portland, New Orleans, another interesting game. This line is down to 3.5, except for Heritage, which is still hanging 4. Everywhere else, down to 3.5, which I predicted. Jim, what's your take on this one?
I'm just, my heart's getting in the way. I want this Portland team to succeed. Brandon Roy was my favorite player, and that Washington Huskies backcourt was my favorite backcourt in college basketball history. Nate Robinson and Brandon Roy.
That's okay.
And so it's getting in the way. And am I supposed to sit here and I know that J. Rue Holiday's gone through a lot of stuff. His wife had cancer. He had missed 80-some-odd games over the last couple of years with injuries. Played 81 games this year. And I have a ton of respect for him as a man. But am I supposed to sit here and say he's the best point guard in this game?
You can sit there and say whatever you want, Jimmy. The bag, it's whatever pick you. I'm thinking about giving the who was it that Dan Kelly said he liked the team total overs for the Pelicans, right? I was thinking about the first half team total over for the Pelicans, which is just 53.
Ziggy Ball says, say that again.
First half team total over Pelicans 53.
Ooh, that does seem...
you know what I'm saying? Are the Pelicans going to come in here and for some reason slow things down? I don't think so.
It doesn't make sense.
Why? I think they're going to try to steamroll these guys.
That's what they should, as they should.
I'm going to take this one. The Pelicans first half team total over 53 minus 110. That's the current line at Heritage. Pinnacle has 53.5. I'm going to take the Heritage line 53 minus 110. I think it was Dan Kelly who was saying he liked overs in this one.
He had overs all the way through.
Overs all the way through. I had overs all the way through. 3 ways in the Cavs game last night. Over 3, baby, yesterday. But I'm taking the Pelicans first half over here. 53 minus 110 at Heritage. Leaning first half over as well. And leaning Pelicans team total over for the full game as well.
Ziggy Ball says, my pick today, Portland Trailblazers +4. I think they bounce back. They come out desperate. I just have a feeling about the Blazers tonight.
Yeah.
And then Troy V says, Wade will not do it again. And then Bravada says, this is the only game Portland wins.
Yeah, I mean, this reminds me of, Jim, when you loved Boston, and I took the Milwaukee team total over, and Boston, of course, cashed ATS by double digits, but Milwaukee still got. That's why team totals can sometimes be the best way to go. If you were leaning Milwaukee in that one, you obviously had a big loss, but if you took the team total anyway, team total over, you got to win. I'm taking New Orleans on the first half team total over, and I'm thinking about the full game, which is 109, and Portland is 4 at Heritage. Yeah.
Wow. Speaking of the line movement, Scotty Rock got in with the Leafs at plus 125. It's now at plus 105.
Is it? Yeah, at the Greek it's plus 105. Pinnacle, I'm still showing 111 here, but maybe that's just a slightly slow feed at SBR odds. I am seeing 105 for the Greek. I'm still seeing 118 at Bookmaker, although that is, Bookmaker appears to still have 118. That's another reason why you want a line shop, because when information comes in like that, the minute-to-minute line moves can be one book can be slower than the other, and you can have a big discrepancy there. Right now, Bookmaker has plus 118, Pinnacle just plus 111. All right, let's move on to so I'm
just a couple notes. I think you made a great play, and I just want to talk about it for 45 seconds before I decide whether I want to jump on or not. Jose Rodriguez says Pelican pick sounds fire. Mohamed Joma says Stotts is a brutal coach. You really think he's going to make all these great adjustments? Plus money's got player props. He's got Simmons points over 16. Anthony Davis rebounds over 12.5. Kevin Durant 3-point field goals made under 2.5. And Kelly Olynyk 3-point field goals made under 1.5.
Melas Payless Way likes New Orleans first quarter.
Wow. I think you made a really good play here. I just wonder if I should just take the whole game over. I just wonder if I should take the whole game over. And that was one of Dan's plays as well. What would I get on the full game over?
The full game over on that one, I think, was like, let me find that one. The full game over, I think, is like 214 or something like that. Let me just see. 214, yes. Bookmaker, 214. Everyone else has 214.5 or 215. Bookmaker still hanging at 214.
Wow. King Rail still believes in his team. He knows this team inside and out. So, Rail, I would like to know what you think about the total there. Please, if you can, if you get a second, why don't we move on to the next game?
Yeah,
we'll get more information. I do want to come back to this, and it doesn't start till later. So
don't worry. I think Portland will do a better job on Holiday with bigger defenders being used like Aminu and Harkless. I lean under.
Wow. I'm just on the fence here. Okay, why don't we move on to the next game? But Freddie PCLK says, Jimmy, go with the gut. I feel Portland going to come back. Lillard will go off tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look, how many seasons of NBA playoffs do we have to watch? Before we know that this is just like what you want to expect. Every NBA playoffs, a team that looks like they're just dead in the water, has no answers for another team, will suddenly come back out of nowhere. Game 3, Game 4, get a dominant win. I mean, it friggin' already happened in the Miami game in Philly in Game 2, right, Jim? You love Philly Game 1. They blew them out, and you were thinking Miami just has no answer. And look what happened.
Spoelstra.
Yeah.
And that's what Mohamed's saying Stotts can't do.
Very interesting. Let's move on to Golden State, San Antonio. Of course, we discussed this in the morning. Great tragedy with Popovich's wife. Also, some injuries here for Golden State. Some people suggesting that this is a game where if ever there's a game in this series where San Antonio will have an edge, it'll be here. Maybe Golden State wins in 5. Maybe the refs give them a little bit of a break. Maybe Golden State gives them a little bit of a break. Tough game to analyze, though, Jim.
Such a tough thing. Okay, so King Rails come in and said, I like the under. I'm not going to force anything here. And King Rail watches his team. This is his team. And he likes the under. And then Dan Kelly, you like the over. I just feel like not comfortable. And I'm just not going to make a play. Yes, I don't know what to do with the war. I found this an exceptionally hard NBA card today.
We got Houston in the house. The GOAT says, I'm supposed to be at the gym right now, but I'm getting the best in caps brain workout with Loshak in the bag. Fuck the gym. I like fat pockets. Oh, my God. The GOAT. Houston in the house. That's what I call a comment. That's a comment and a half right there. The GOAT from Houston, Texas. Shout out.
Shout out.
Yes.
Shout out for sure. Respect. And Timo Buckets.
Fucking mind here.
Timo Buckets from Astana, Kazakhstan.
Okay, so we got Kazakhstan in the house. We got Houston in the house. We got Pittsburgh in the house. We got Haiti in the house. We got South Dakota in the house. We got a whole buttload of people from Canada in the house. All right, Jim.
So what's going to happen here? Underdog says, I think the Warriors win by 35. Right?
There you go.
Now, the question is twofold. Basically, is Pop done for the season, and is he sort of throwing in the towel for the team? Or is the team going to rise up and win one for Pop? And are the Warriors going to say, God, we love Pop so much and we love Aaron so much, let's give the Spurs this game and win the series in Game 5 at home?
Hill Country says, prayers for Coach Pop and Dave Malinsky. Amen. Hill Country. It's the wise person knows it's a gift just to be alive, no matter what your circumstances are.
Absolutely.
Easier said than done, but always important to keep in mind. All right. We even have life advice on this show, Jimmy the Bag, once in a while. All right. Listen, a lot of people giving a lot of opinions on this Golden State game. I've made a decision on it. I'm staying way the fuck off this game. I might have a second half played, though. This has second half written all over it. After the first half is played, you'll have a lot of these questions answered. A lot of these uncertainties and unknowns will be knowns. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Yeah, no, that's probably just the way you handle college basketball holistically is probably the best way to do it. Troy V says, Golden State third quarter has been big money maker for a couple of years now. Jose Rodriguez says, I don't think the Spurs can show up today. Antoine Seymour said, everyone taking unders tonight. Don't be surprised if they all go over. Salty Dog says, good man, Jimmy. Spurs first quarter best bet, I think. Amaron Afuvai Jr. agrees, says Spurs first quarter.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of comments here. Oh, slay the spread. Let me get a shout out for Arizona. You got it. Shout out Arizona. Standing on the corner. Whistler, Arizona. Chick is staring right at me. All right, let's see. What else do we have? Yeah, Joe Anthony, Warriors can get a blowout if they want. William Speaker, Warriors game is a no play by, it's too much. Who knows? Ziggy Balls lean Spurs. Who knows? This does have second half written all over it, Jim. I'll tell you that. And maybe I'll tweet it out. If there's a second half play, I will tweet. Even if I'll make that commitment. Even if I don't like any play on the second half, I'll at least make a tweet saying that there's a no play for me and commenting on the game.
That'd be great. We really want your love seeing your second half play.
This is the kind of game where it's like all sorts of unknowns. You don't know what's going to happen. Then you get a ton of information in the first half, and even for live betting, obviously. But you can really sit and reflect at halftime. So we'll see what the situation is at halftime. Amaron Afuvai Jr. likes Spurs first quarter. I liked him first quarter and first half in the second game. I didn't give it as a pick, but I bet it. And that was because they were getting a lot of points, though. You know what I mean? Here, they're not going to be getting too many points. So there's just too many unknowns.
It's very, very difficult. It's very difficult. And Ulysses Hayes says, what, you scared, Loshak?
Yes.
Yes.
Definitely.
I'm scared
Are you kidding
as well.
me? I'm betting him in this game? Yes. Very, very scared. And not scared of the second half, though.
Yeah.
I'll say it again.
That's great. I feel. Hako Schofield says, I'm spreading the word here in Houston about this great fucking show.
Oh, my God.
Dogtown says Los Angeles in the house, and the smart bet is Loshak in the bag.
Oh, there you go. Native Queen, here you go. I think Golden State still wins, but very close and an under. I mean, I would be leaning under too, but again, these Golden State Spurs games I wouldn't be at all surprised. I said it before. If the first quarter is 36-28, go Spurs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't remember a card with 3 games on it being this hard. I'm thankful, and a shout out to Justin Searcy for pushing me in the right direction. Well, what I think is the right direction in the under in the Heat Sixers game.
Yes.
And at this point, that's the only thing I can really back. And I just Scotty Rock forever thinks likes first half Spurs and thinks the Warriors are going to take it.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like, the Spurs are going to come in, play their fucking hearts out. The Warriors will come in and be like, all right, let's just cruise for a while. Then they probably roll in the second half. I do feel like if the Spurs are up by a certain amount of points in the first half, I might be looking real hard at a second half play on the Warriors, depending.
Or are they going to let... Or are they going to let the Spurs get one for Aaron? Twatty says got to take the Spurs first quarter.
Or if the refs make that decision, you know what I'm saying? If they're playing the game and it's obvious what the refs are doing, then Golden State will just be like, all right, fine, take it. The refs want you to have it. Take it.
The GOAT says Spurs are done. No Kawhi, no Pop. Team chemistry shattered. They will lay down and lose the next 2 so Pop and the team can go into the offseason and deal with the current difficult situation.
I mean, that might be even the smartest way, that the Spurs are just like, let's get out of here as soon as possible and forfeit game 4. I mean, I'm not literally, but you know what I'm saying. He might be right. He might be. I mean, the Spurs know they aren't going to win even the next series, even if the Spurs know they're done. Why prolong it? You know what I'm saying? That might be the smartest way of looking at this. King Rail earlier said that the Warriors might hand this game to the Spurs. That might be the smartest way of looking at it.
That is in all honesty, I guess the Spurs first quarter feels like it's the play.
Yeah. Okay. And let's finally wrap it up with Jay Peach's prediction. Golden State wins by 10, just enough to prove dominance. Golden State doesn't care about the death, bottom line. And that seems to be what Native Queen thought as well. Native Queen also leaning under on that one. All right. So
actually, could you give me a few more seconds? What is the line on the Spurs first quarter?
Spurs first quarter. I can give you that
Doc
line.
NYC 62 says first half Spurs is the play. I think that first quarter Spurs might
and if
be
you remember, we looked at this earlier in the day, remember? And the Spurs were just plus a half on the first half. Remember, despite the fact that they were like a 4-point dog on the full game. Let me just find the first quarter here for you, Jim. I think we're going to see Pick'em and maybe a plus a half. Yes, mostly Pick'ems. Intertops has plus a half minus 115.
I think that is the best play that I can make. I think that
you're going to add this officially.
I am, and I'm going to bet it.
Oh my God!
I really think that. Now, can we talk about this for 30 seconds, 45 seconds? I think that the Spurs are going to come out with energy.
You would think
they're going to do it for pop, and there's no reason why the Warriors would just try to destroy them in the first quarter.
One would think, yes.
So I think, after all this talk and the help from the chat, that I am going to take it and I'm going to bet it.
All right, Jim's going to take the Spurs. It is Pick-em-more plus one, plus a half. So Jim's going to take Spurs first quarter plus a half, minus 115 at Intertops. Bookmaker has plus a half, but minus 130. Pinnacle has Pick-em. Best line right now, Intertops plus a half, minus 115. Bet365, I'm seeing plus a half, minus 125. Intertops minus 115. Interesting shit, Jim. So now Jim is on Miami under 214.5, and the Spurs first quarter plus a half minus 115. I'm on the Pelicans first half team total over 53, and I'll be looking hard at the second half lines. Well, for all these games, but particularly the Golden State San Antonio game.
Yes, and we could sit here and talk about this Warriors Spurs game for another hour
all day, and then let's move on. Let's not. How about that?
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
Radical idea.
Okay, let's do it.
I think outside of the box, Jimmy the Bag.
I respect
Let's
it.
fucking move on. All right, Washington, Columbus. We talked about Boston, Toronto. Yes, now Toronto is plus 104 at Pinnacle, plus 101 at Bookmaker, plus 100 at Intertops. Wow. The line has officially crashed.
And it's so exciting to be, right in the middle of it, in the middle of our show. And thank you guys to the chat as always. Just giving us the tightest information, and it's a treat. Native Queen said Spurs early. Okay, sorry.
The line has officially crashed in the Boston-Toronto game. Jim earlier gave Toronto at plus 106, which now is looking like a slightly good line. The best line we can give you right now would be plus 105 at UWager. Wow. Washington-Columbus is an interesting one. Jim gave the under 5.5 at plus 100, and this line has not moved that much at all. It's bouncing around, but still Washington, around plus 105, 109, and Columbus still like around minus 120.
Yes, I really think that overtime if you guys were watching the game 3 overtime, I think that's going to carry over. I think Holtby's going to play great. I really think that Bobrovsky is going to continue to play well. He's changing his story of never showing up in the playoffs, and I think both teams know we can't have any penalties. Penalties is our kryptonite. We have to play within ourselves, dump and chase, and keep the shots to the periphery. And I like the under. Yeah, well,
when you took it, it was plus 100. Now it's you've beaten a little line move there. It's minus 105 at BetOnline, minus 109 at Pinnacle. So a nice little line move in your favor. Jim took the under 5.5 at plus 100. I haven't given any picks in the NHL at all. My leans, I think, right now would be first period under in the Boston-Toronto game. And, I mean, what with Bergeron out, you think that they're going to do some kind of that? Do you think they're going to be hesitant offensively?
It's not offensively. I think that Gate Passkey made a very important call about just switching lines up. It's just going to be some uncomfort. I think it's defensively. I think Marchand and Pasternak can still get their offense there. They're excellent forwards. Yeah. I still think they can get offense. I think it's defensively. It's remember one of the first things Gate Passkey said. He said that after thinking about it all day, I believe it was Gate Passkey. He said after thinking about it all day, what you said, Loshak, I've switched, and I'm now on the on Boston because they're going to clog the zone and not give Marner any space. Well, that's much harder to do without the perennial Selke Trophy winner playing 25 minutes.
All right, and then Washington, Columbus. Jim did take the under, and who was it that said they liked Columbus on the puck line?
That was Brent Brooks, who's straight fire.
Really?
God, is he good? He's had 2 different days in the past week where he's gone 5 for 5 on the playoffs in NHL. So I certainly noticed.
I was thinking Washington was going to maybe come out strong early. I was thinking Washington first period, but maybe I should hold off on that.
You know what? He's an extremely sharp hockey mind that we're very lucky to have him in our chat. So.
We are. I'm kicking ass in NHL playoffs so far, but I think I'm going to pass on both these games, Jim. Sorry, you really can't force it, and I do try. Regular viewers of this game know I make a lot of irresponsible picks, last minute, first minute, and everything, and I try to force picks, but I just don't think I can force a pick right now. I guess I'd have a lean to the under in Boston, Toronto at 6, Washington, Columbus. I don't even know, dude.
Yeah, I get it. Jeremy M coming in with Capitals. Spurs aren't going to do shit, man. We could talk about... Oh, Underdog says, love your New Orleans first half team total over.
There you go. Thank you so much. Hopefully it cashes. Thank you so much, Underdog. JD the third. Jackets win tonight. A lot of people liking the Jackets here. I mean, they did get lucky. Washington did get lucky to win Game 3.
Yeah,
Jay Sandercock, Jackets are sick. All right. I guess we can up Native Queen got the Leafs first period. Nice. Probably at about even money or so. Very nice. Native Queen liking the Leafs first period. Yep. Plus 101 at Pinnacle. Everywhere else about minus 105 or so.
Yeah, and Susanna saying Ovechkin's guaranteeing a win like Mark Messier. I mean, come on, this guy's got character. This guy's I like him a lot. I like him a lot, and I know he's just been on losing team after losing team, but I do think he's got heart and character, and I just like him.
D from Detroit says, really appreciate you guys, Loshak in the bag. Right back at you. Really appreciate you, D from Detroit. Yeah. Thank you so much.
And I love your city as well, man.
Yes, we do. All right, I think we can, lot of interesting stuff. We'll have answers to all this tomorrow morning, Jim. What happens in the Spurs game? We'll know tomorrow. What happens in the Leafs game? We'll know tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? What happens? Does Washington even it up 2-2, or do they get blown out and Brooksy cashes his Columbus
235
minus 1.5 plus 235? We'll know tomorrow. What's going to happen? Is Miami lit and they win outright, or does Philly roll and have a big advantage and Dwayne Wade stinks up the joint? We'll know tomorrow, Jim.
Yes.
Right?
Oh yeah.
That's what I love about sports betting. Interesting shit here. Even Portland, New Orleans. That's another game. Is Portland going to shit the bed again? Is New Orleans going to dominate? Or are the Sharpie Sharps with their contrarian plays who probably came in on Portland at +4? Are they going to cash? We'll know tomorrow.
Do you think Darren Kelly's fucking with me here? He goes, "Hey, Jimmy the Bag. I don't know much about hockey. I was just looking at tonight's NHL odds, and they have the LA Kings Vegas game there with no lines."
Oh no, and now I wanted to talk about that one. You want to just have a few words about that? Now listen.
But he says Kings Vegas. We're talking Sharks Vegas.
Yeah. No, sorry. Right. The Sharks Vegas series. The line is out. It was about minus 120, 125, 130 in favor of Vegas. Of course, Vegas has home ice advantage on this one. Now, look, I mean, Vegas got to win, but I mean, it's just LA was just dead in the water. You know what I'm saying? San Jose has some real life to them. This is not going to be a cakewalk for Vegas. Now I'm not kidding right now. Now it might be a time to fade Vegas with San Jose. You don't think so?
No, I do think so, but I mean I don't know if I can pull the trigger. They looked very good and took a lot of money out of my pocket. Between the Kings and the Ducks, I lost a lot of money in the past weekend. Thank God the other sports were going well, or I would have been in big trouble. And it's just I can't let the vividness and recency affect me and make sharp plays. We remember Nostra coming in saying, I got the Sharks to win the cup. What do you guys think? And that was 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago. All right. I don't know. What's your first lean is Sharks win the series?
Yeah, my first lean is that Vegas was good, but that LA just did not have the offense. They just did not have the offense to come into the NHL playoffs and be competitive with a legit playoff team. And my sense is that the Sharks are for real now. Not saying they win the series, not saying they dominate, but Vegas is going to get challenged. And in retrospect, when all is said and done, it might, in retrospect, be the Sharks that had a game-by-game edge as opposed to Vegas.
Yeah, predictions guy says, Jimmy, please fade Vegas so they keep winning. I agree. My first instinct is that the Sharks have enough. They'll probably get Joe Thornton back, and they have enough time off to have him rolling. Now, I know Joe Thornton is not going to be that big of a deal, but on the power play and in the dressing room, it's a huge deal. Vegas is the co-favorite to win the cup. I mean, I can't even believe these things are coming out of my mouth.
Unbelievable. All right, well, we'll talk about that series and a whole lot more tomorrow. We'll be back at 12 o'clock Eastern time. Huge, much love to all the commenters. We love you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.